So if you struggle to get out of the bunkers, then stay tuned to this video because I've got a club here that could solve all your problems. So the club I've got in my hand is the new Ping BunkR Wedge. This is purely designed to get you out of the bunker first time, every single time. It's a very unique look. There's some real big benefits of this which is going to help you obviously to get out of that sand, and we're going to run through that in this particular video. We're going to test it in the bunker. We're going to have some really good lies, some really awful lies. Let's see how this thing performs. Okay, so the bunkers are very much dreaded by a lot of golfers. I do a lot of bunker lessons and people really do struggle to get out their first time. They play the sand wedge, maybe struggle with that. They opt then for more loft, especially if they have a lip in front of them. They want to try and get some height. Now the negative with that is obviously with a lob wedge you're going to lose bounce. Typically you have a low bounce in a lob wedge. Well, this unique club from Ping, the BunkR, has 64 degrees of loft. So it's got the loft if you need to get that ball up and out quickly. Those soft landing shots as we mentioned. But it's packed with a wide sole, as you can see, 14.5 degrees of bounce. You probably will not ever see a lob wedge with that loft with that amount of bounce on it. So this is where this is very unique. Now obviously we've got the I2 shape in here that we've seen traditionally years ago. Very peculiar look, but it's there for a reason. Higher in that toe section, the grooves go all the way to the end. And the idea with this particular club is to play the club face absolutely square, so there's no need to really open the club up. We're going to talk a little bit about that as we go through this video. I'm just going to hit a few basic you know, sort of 15-20 yard bunker shots around this sort of green. I'm going to play it very sort of square in my stance. We'll carry on with the video. I want to thank today's sponsors, Eagle Links Golf, who make high quality head covers and golfing accessories like scorecard holders, towels, ball markers, etc. All themed around football teams. So if you follow a big team, you can go and grab a head cover from them. I've got a discount code MN Golf Coach. Punch that in at checkout and that will give you 15% discount off anything on their website. As I say, very peculiar look with that high pointy toe section, but I'll tell you what, there's lots of loft there. Oh, that came out first time beautifully there. Really feeling the sole. I know it's a big wide sole, but generally that is going to really help you in the bunkers. That sole is going to get into the base of the bunker. It's going to use that back edge, that bounce, the 14.5 degrees of it, and that's going to get the club coming up and out. So many golfers you tend to sort of see is in that diggy action and they stop and they quit on it. This club is going to give you the confidence of committing to the shot because you've got lots of loft, take loads of sand, and the ball should just pop up. Oh, that's come out super high. So I think coming to this, playing this with the square face, you've got 64 degrees of loft, remember, so there's no need to really open this up to add more loft. Obviously you could do that. The bounce is definitely going to increase as we open up. The bounce or that back trailing edge will drop a hell of a lot lower than that leading edge. So you're going to increase that 14.5 bounce by quite a bit. So depending on how your sand is, if you've got a sand or a bunker that has very minimal sanding, you probably don't want to be doing that. If you've got a bunker with lots of sand, then probably you could afford to do that. Whether you would need to do that or not, I probably would say you wouldn't need to because you've got already a lot of loft on this club. But let's try one. Let's open this blade up. Obviously going to expose a lot more loft. This club face literally looks like it's pointing straight back at me here. And we're going to expose a lot of bounce on this. Yeah, and I've just bottomed out here. I've got a little bit of a patch there where there's not as much sand. That's really bounced and jumped up. That shot off on me a little bit quick on me. So that's maybe the only exception I would say, depending on how much sand you've got in the bunkers, whether you're going to open that club face. But I would probably say, like Ping is saying here, play this to sort of square face. You've got loads of loft, 64 degrees. There's probably no need to open that blade up. And when you think about it, when you open the blade up like so, you're going to decrease your hitting area there, aren't we? So the width from the heel to the toe is going to decrease, so making you less surface area for you to strike that golf ball. Whereas if we have it square, we get much more surface area to make the contact with the ball. So if you struggle with these strikes, this again will help you with that squarer face, a little bit more hitting area. So I think what we'll do after we've hit a few more in the bunker is try this off the grass and maybe out of the rough as well, because I think there'll be some advantage of this, not just the bunker, but also off the grass if you've got that lob shot off a very rough lie where you just got to play it a little bit like a bunker style sort of technique in a way. I think that bounce and that loft is going to help you. We'll test that in a bit. Let's just hit one to this right hand flag, the green one here now. So this green slopes away from me, so I want this sort of landing very sort of high and soft. Yeah, that's come out beautifully. Really sort of feel the sole of the club just get into that sand and really sort of exit very smoothly. Very quirky on the look, but do you know what? If this ball comes out first time for many golfers out there, I think they'll soon get over the looks of the club if it's doing a job. Oh, that's beautiful. Very soft landing. Yeah, and straight away I think that's going to give confidence to pit golfers. As you walk into that bunker, you're not dreading the actual shot and hoping you're just going to get it out with a bit of a stab at the golf ball. You can commit to the shot. Right, so different lie. If you play at a golf course where there's loads of sand, really sort of deep, I've just pulled a load of sand together here, so I've got much more sand underneath the ball. Sometimes these are tricky because we don't hit the base of the bunker now with this sole, and it sometimes struggles to get the club exiting as good as we would like to sort of see it, so sometimes it would quit on these sort of shots. So again, huge sole, that's going to help us particularly with this shot. We've got the bounce, let's put it to the test. Oh yeah, wow. And that's just come out like a butterfly with sore feet. That stopped super quick, very soft landing, fantastic shot there. In fact, this next one, I'm just going to just level that off a little bit, and I'm going to plug this ball now in the sand. Okay, now that's pretty rotten. I would hate to see that on the golf course, but let's put this wedge to the test now. So now I'm going to play this definitely square faced, as we have done with all these shots to be honest, but I would always do this anyway on a plugged lie, and I'm just going to really sort of power this through, just get a lot of sand, and this 64-degree loft should really help me out on this. Yeah, that's come out. It only just come out, but it's out. Take that all day long. It's actually rolled to about 3 foot there, so I'm really happy with that. But it did come out a lot lower, but purely probably because of the lie more than anything. Very deep sand, plug ball, it's tough to get those out. So obviously we talked a bit about the loft there and also the bounce, but what else is happening in this particular sort of wedge? So we've got the dialer grip wedge grip from Ping, so it's got actually it's 3/4 of an inch longer than a traditional grip with less taper, and you've got these little notches down the bottom end of the grip, so you can sort of grip down at 3 different locations, easily sort of set out there to maybe just create different controls or maybe what you're trying to do with that wedge. If you like to really grip down low, get low into the shot, you can do that with longer grip. And actually the standard length of this is 35 inches, which is typically like a putter length, isn't it? So it's got a little bit of a shorter length there. Again, you can really sort of get down low into that sand and really play and execute the shot properly. Right, okay, so as we mentioned, let's test it out of some rough. I think this huge sole with that bounce and obviously the loft as well will have some huge benefits of these awful lies in the rough when you're just around the green. Okay, this isn't quite Oakmont level, but we've got a pretty nasty lie here, again about 10 yards or so from the green. Sat down, lots of grass behind the ball, between club face and golf ball, so we sort of want to get under the ball, get it lifted, and I think this is where this bounce will really sort of help us on these shots. So again, I'm just going to play this square club face. Oh wow, and that's just really like glided through that grass there, just popped up so high, so soft landing. Brilliant club for those awful lies as well. Right, let's get really juicy now. This is even worse than that last one. Massive clump of grass behind the golf ball, very tough. Maybe a little bit more speed just coming through the impact. Just think the size of the head and that high toe with that lots of loft just gives you that confidence here that this is going to get out. Oh wow, I mean that has just slid through, popped up so soft to the point where I'm actually enjoying playing these awful lies. I'm going to play another one. I'm very impressed with that. Let's stand on this one. Let's get really horrible. Right, that's, oh my gosh, that is absolutely horrendous to be fair. Let's give this one a go. Wow, and again that's come out beautiful. Come out a touch hotter, a bit more bottom groove, just really because that lie was awful. But that's come out again very nicely. Okay, and final quick test. It's probably not really designed for these shots, but quite a tight lie around the green. Probably, if anything, I would probably say there you'd be better putting a little bit of shaft lean into there just to decrease that bounce a little bit, making sure you're getting your strike right on this tight lie. But again, this could be something that, I mean, it just pops up 64 degrees. It's very sort of easy to use. It pops up really nicely, and for me, summarising this wedge, I think for anybody who struggles out of bunker, definitely go and give it a try. I think this will be a fantastic addition. The combination of that wide sole, the big bounce, loads of loft, which you don't really see with any other wedge, I think is a winning combination to get you out the bunkers and lower your scores. Okay, appreciate watching the video. As always, hopefully catch you all very soon.